Hey, what's going on, guys? Bob Mentality here. And today I just want to check in on where we're sitting from a technical perspective here on the ES, the VIX, and some of the tech names. So first off on the daily, guys, we came off the lows here pre-FOMC hard. 1, 2, 3, 4 days of solid upside. Today we're seeing a little bit of sideways consolidation just below that 4,500 main supply, the 4,480 rough reference. We're sitting here right below that supply. After this strong of an upside, it makes sense to look for that pullback, right? What's important to note is we could be getting it now, but if we do see an extension, where are we going to go to? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. Another thing I want you to take a look at here is on the daily on the VIX. We saw a pullback from 33 all the way down to 23. If we see a secondary leg up on the ES, that 4,500, 4,520 is likely, and VIX can see 20, or we can see a bounce on the VIX here back towards 26, 27, and ES pull back into that, 4390s, 4400 area before getting that remount back to the upside. That's what we're kind of looking at here on the short term. Over 4480, we go to 4500, over 4500, 4520, or 4520. That 4580 is the reference. I don't think we go to 4580 on this leg. It makes sense to see some pullback towards 4380s, 4390s today or tonight or tomorrow, as early as those times. Look at this hourly chart. See how strong with little pullbacks we've pushed up here. It's perfectly acceptable to see a pullback. Let me zoom in correctly here. It's perfectly acceptable to see a pullback to this prior range right here, 4350, 4380, perfectly acceptable and bullish to see that pullback. That's not even a 50% pullback, for 50% retracement from these 4100 lows here, okay? That's perfectly fine, and that's to be expected. If we see another gap up in pre-market, I think the edge tomorrow is going to be on the short side. If we see a gap down into this demand area, the edge is going to be on the long side, based off of the VIX making a lower high on a gap up, the ES making a higher low on a gap down or a move down during the overnight session. But so far, very strong move from the bulls. Taking a look at beta here, you'll see that a lot of beta, strong move off the lows. Apple from 150 all the way up into supply at 166. It makes sense for Apple to pull back here. If not here, then at 169. So if not here, then at 4,500 or 4,520. See what I'm saying? Amazon on the daily, we're looking at here. This is a perfect opportunity to see some supply come in, right? It makes sense to see supply here. AMD, look on the daily, okay? We have a little bit of room to the next supply, but honestly, that's just bearish divergence. It makes sense still for AMD to pull back if the rest of the market does. NVIDIA, same thing. Supply right in this area, the zone here on the 268. Microsoft, same thing. It should see it here. If not, just a little bit higher, maybe 305, but that depends on if we gap up. It makes sense for names to pull back from where we're currently standing in the short term, but there is opportunity off that rebound move. So look at Tesla. That's the one I was forgetting, Tesla. Supply at 950, a lot of supply at 950. Over 950, we can extend towards 980 or 1,000, so keep that in mind, okay? So be open to both directions, but if the price opens here or above here, the edge should be on the short side. And so on that, I'm going to be looking into rising support on beta to buy, looking for that bounce idea long, okay? That's pretty much it, guys. I'm not going to sit here and get into any of the fundamentals on the rate hike this, rate hike that. Powell talked a lot today. Focus on the technicals and keep in mind that regardless of what Powell said, so far, the market hasn't pulled back yet. We saw this significant downside reject off those initial comments, but we held demand and rebounded. The bulls are still around. Take a look at the VIX. You'll see the bulls are clearly still around. Sentiment is not in the toilet. However, we are extended from a technical perspective. So I'm looking for that pullback or that put opportunity into tomorrow, guys. That's all I have for you. If you're interested in joining my chat room, there's information in the description box below, as well as information there for joining my mentorship program. There's information on my Patreon for that. And guys, remember to stay focused, develop that bot mentality, which is that trading mentality where you learn to eliminate your emotions so you can trade like a machine, guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.